Come over, come over.
Honey. Come on over. I did not want to be on.
Come on. Hey y'all, what's up? What's up?
Hey.
We back in the building for episode 3. I be real loud too, so I have to calm down.
You excited?
I get
Yes.
excited. I do. So yes, we are back, y'all, with Black Women Stop Dating Until You've Done the Work to Heal Yourselves episode. Trey. How about that?
Trey.
And we're going to run back through our panel again and introduce our ladies one more again because we so lovely. And we'll start over here to my right with our married woman in the house.
Okay.
Yes, Lisa. Yes, Lisa. Where we know you from, Lisa?
From Parkdale High School.
That's right.
Well, let's take it back. Kimmel Middle School.
Yeah, hey, there you go. That's it. That's the one. All right. Next.
I'm Hope the Creative.
Yes.
And I know you from Morgan State. And I'm like, let me be clear.
Let me be clear. So, all right. Yeah. What's up? All right, Miss Stein.
I'm Tanya. Sandbox.
Yes.
And up.
Yes.
That's how we know
Way
each other.
back. Kindergarten.
Yeah.
Wow. Kindergarten.
Yes, what we been? That's what I'm saying.
Yes. And I'm Keisha. And y'all, you know, everybody gonna tell us, but that guy, I know him from Kimmel Middle School.
My name's Shanita. I'm just meeting Keisha, but it's such a kindred spirit.
I know, my soul sister.
Just meeting her. But me and Mark have been friends for over 20 years now. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Chanel. I just met Keisha in person.
We clicked. Oh, yes.
We clicked during Kwanzaa season.
Yes, we did.
So it was good to see her in person.
Yes.
And I've known Marcus for a long time. So
Right.
he's mine.
Y'all go back to church? Did y'all go back to
Yeah,
church? And did you go back to church with him too, or no? Okay.
Work.
Okay.
Old job. Like,
Okay. Well, y'all, here we go. We're going to dive right on in. All right, because I think that these questions are juicy. I like these. So, I gotta find them, but I know the first one was basically how many failed relationships have you had or did you have before you had a successful one? I think that's a loaded question, but I like it. So, you got something, Lisa? What you got?
So I was trying to go over the question with Tanya, and I was like, failed. I wouldn't say failed.
Oh, I like
I would say it's all the experience.
Yes.
And that experience kind of exposed to yourself, like what you don't like, what you do like, and what you're gonna go for moving forward, and what you're not gonna go for moving forward. So I think it's all about just growing within whatever you're experiencing. I wouldn't say it was failed.
Mm-hmm. I totally feel you.
This is expose you to what you're gonna tolerate.
Yep, I like it.
And also, when you say success, that doesn't necessarily mean that it ended in. I mean, that was your last person. It just meant that throughout that relationship, it was beneficial, and you know, just kind of went your own separate ways. Or like, what does success really
Me, exactly. That's why I think it's a loaded question. I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
To break down the
Success
surface of it,
and
success
failure, and
fail,
it just depends on how you look at it.
But
Go ahead, no.
for me, it's not like I've been in many relationships. I've really only been in 2 adult relationships. One being my child's father, who passed away in 2009, and right after that, I was in a relationship with a female with his godmother for the next 9 years. So now after that, you know, dating is like it's sketchy, you know, because I honestly can say that both of those relationships were a success. You know, now that I'm able to talk about either one of them without any type of pain, whether what kind of pain it is, grief or being upset or harboring onto something that I learned, a lesson that was learned in the last relationship. Once you come past that, you're able to have a conversation with that person or still be cordial without any hate in your heart. That's a success, you know, for not being in a relationship with somebody. or finding an ending and knowing that you two have come to a place where you all can split ways amicably.
Yes, I like it.
Yes. Also, I want to piggyback off of that. To have a relationship and it ends, but I feel like the success point is, even though the relationship may have ended on bad terms, what you walk away from, like what you learn from that to move forward with something else, was really the prize for me. Because even though my last relationship, we ended on,
Not so good terms.
right, I learned so much from that that it allowed me to look at it from a perspective of, if that had not happened, A, B, C, and D things afterwards may not have happened.
Yep.
Because I could have been just complacent with what that was. And so even though the relationship didn't fail, it wasn't a success per se, I feel like I still was successful with the outcome.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those things where, everything happens for a reason type thing. So it just was what it was.
It needed to happen.
It
Right.
needed to happen for me to grow.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't had many relationships up until then. Maybe like 4 or 5, maybe. But they all had their different pieces. Like I learned different things from each one of them that I took away from. And I feel like anytime you spend time with another person and you go through that time for any period of time, because you're rubbing lives with that person, it's always going to challenge you to either be better or determine that this person, I can't rub lives with you, any longer, because it could become toxic. So I just think that anytime you rub lives with somebody, it's whether it ends on
We rubbing lives
I
already.
love that.
We rubbing and making
I
lives.
love that.
Right. When you rub lives, you make lives.
How about that?
That is legit.
Yes, and thick thighs save lives.
The bonus too.
that's the bonus. But yeah, so yeah, to me, ultimately, your perspective is
Go get the door now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chanel. You can keep talking.
No, I'm done.
No, oh, shit. Y'all been checked.
Yeah, I'm about to sign up.
You like, wait a minute. I did y'all. But I go ahead. Anything else you like to share?
For me, like Lisa said, everything is an experience. For me, I take everything as lesson learned. So like Chanel said, you grab what you can, bits and pieces from each individual, and I'm to the point where I know what I will and will not tolerate.
This is sexy. Got slice motherfucking apples. What the boy? Hey, Riz.
Oh,
like I'll take it.
My apologies. All right, live on air.
How about that? That we raw and uncut. Okay, need to pulling up in 5 minutes. All right.
Rubbing lives.
Yes, rubber thighs, thick thighs, save lives. What else? What else you got there? What you? I didn't know.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Everything, like I said, is just a learning experience.
Right.
And you take from each relationship of what you learn, of like what you liked, your likes, your dislikes, what you're willing to tolerate, what you're not willing to tolerate, and yeah.
I like it. So first of all, I love y'all. Cause I just like when I'm in a space where I can be confirmed. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need a whole lot of validation. I'm an only child. I've been validating myself for a long time. But when you are around people and things are understood, it just makes you feel like, you feel seen. And I think everybody wants to feel seen and feel heard or understood. Understanding is what's up. And I look at that word differently these days. Marissa, did you have? I'm sorry. We dove right on in with the first question. I don't know if you remember it, but
Of course not.
Of course not. Well, I'll repeat it for you if you want to answer or you want some time. That's fine because I got something to say. The first question was how many failed relationships have you had before you had a successful one?
Hadn't had one yet.
Oh, right. I got you.
you.
So what I'll say, just to kind of reiterate for you too, that I totally feel is, like you said, what's the definition of failure? What's the definition of success? If success is looked at as something that's still going, then okay, I don't have one of those yet. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. But I have had great relationships, and all of you have touched on it. Like, what did you learn from the relationship? But it took me a minute to start to realize, like, what I actually learned, like put in words what I learned. Because I like to take shit a little step further, because that's just who I am. But I would say, like, all of my relationships have started mostly as friendships. And they've all been long. And I started loving when I was young. Like, I had real love at like 13, 14. We was in love. I know it be hard because you be like, girl, you was a baby.
No, that was
But
love.
that was love.
Still not that man.
Listen. Yes. And I had boyfriends when I was a little girl. You know what I'm saying? Like little girl at Carlton and all that. But like I had love in like 7th, 8th grade. 8th grade, we was in love. Your first. Some people's first be different. But my first, we was in love. He waited a long time and stuff.
You got the story to match.
Yes. But I will say that, like, now I didn't really learn anything from that. I mean, I learned something from that relationship, but it wasn't until I was probably over 30 where I actually was like, damn, you know what? I peeped this in this. I'm not doing that. That don't work for me. And here's my boundary. Here's where I can go with that. And then I had to make sure that when that fucking time like showed itself, I had to make the move. So it wasn't until it took me a second. Like I would say, like with my son's father, we were high school sweethearts. Y'all know him. Some of y'all know him. And that was probably the biggest heartbreak too. We were together for a long time. We were each other's comfort zone. When you in high school, and that was love. That was love. That was good. That was long love.
Yeah, we know you love him.
You know what's so funny? You're not the first person to say that. I be like, well, I think that he loved me too.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I was like, shit. I was treated real good. Real good. Even when I got to college.
Mutual. I would definitely say that.
Yeah, I'm like, but no. When we got to college, though, even my college friends was like, he is the best boyfriend on the planet. So when shit went left, it was like, who? Wait a minute. What happened? What happened? I'm like, shit, if I know. But you know, it's all there's
about the maturity.
That's
like
it.
You said, like, where were y'all at that time in your life?
When we got old enough to go to the club.
Time progressed.
It was a wrap.
Girl, you couldn't say no. Hey, man. You couldn't say no. Say no. So, and I kept saying, like, just go. No. And he'd come with teddy bears and balloons and roses and cards and dinner and movie. And I'd be right back, just dumb. Just be right back.
But
Same night.
That's what you start to realize, because we do get to a point where we realize things are a cycle for us.
Mm-hmm.
And why am I attracting the same type of person? Or why is this being a repeat lesson for me? And for me, shadow work started to become a thing when I had to start digging into what I don't like about myself.
Look at
Like,
you being wrong.
Why don't I like that? Why does that trigger me? You know what I'm saying? Why is it something that this person has done? Or whatever it is. It could be anybody, not even a person that you're in a relationship with.
Exactly.
But when you start doing shadow work, you know, you do hit on failed relationships and the lessons that you took from it. But for me, it's like, but what did I do? Right. What did I contribute? And I like that. Go back and have that conversation. And sometimes that's the mending block. That was what the mending block for my last relationship, I'll say. I had to go back and was like, all right, from your perspective, what could I have done better?
Yes.
You know, where were things? What was the worst thing? And one of the things was your insecurity. I had to dig deep into why I was so insecure. What triggered the insecurity? Where did it come from?
Yes.
You know, so it allows you to dig deeper into yourself, the lessons that we learn.
Yeah.
from
No, you're right.
relationships. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Because sometimes you start to find, you'll see patterns. If you pay attention to your own patterns, you see patterns. And then sometimes you be like, am I doing the same thing my mother did? Am I doing the same thing my grandma did? Like,
Or we just keep on.
Why I
being
keep attracting the
with
same type of motherfucker?
person. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We keep being okay with it.
That's why
Exactly.
I'm taking a break.
Good. That's what's up. I think that's
That's
responsible.
what this
is about.
conversation is
That's
about.
what it's
That's
Totally.
what it's about.
You like, I'm good. Let me focus on me.
Yes,
Fuck that.
baby.
Like
'Cause-
successful relationship.
Honestly, and that's how you attract exactly what you want. The more you love on yourself. I know
That's
that
right.
it sounds so cliche, but it's so
No,
true.
that's real.
It's
though.
so true.
because
That
we
is so
learn what we really like, and we get out of a place of making decisions for the sake of someone else. Because us as women, when we are in a relationship, well, I'm not gonna say all women, but me as a woman in a relationship, I'm very nurturing, and
Yes.
I care about what the other person needs and wants and
Yes.
likes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when it comes down to making decisions, I'm taking all of that into consideration, and I do not want to kind of ruffle their feathers more than just going with the flow for me.
Right.
But being out of a relationship and loving on yourself, man, I'm telling you, I didn't realize how much I love to go and get massages. Why? Because I didn't go get them as frequent before.
Oh my
The
God.
King Spa and just spending a day.
Baby.
Oh,
Yes.
Baby, I
Yes.
realize it.
I
I
just
realize
texted my
it.
girls and said, y'all trying to go August the 11th for my birthday?
Okay.
And they're like,
I'll go.
My birthday is the 10th.
August
I'll
10th.
go.
My party is the 11th.
August 10th.
Aw.
It's my birthday, August 10th.
Yes, birthday twins.
Y'all Leo.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We coming.
I got a lot of Leos in my life.
Yes. Man.
How about that?
I know that's what's up.
But I will say that, like, I'm so gay, y'all.
We got the energy.
You just go like this.
I'm gonna balance it right on now.
No, that's what's up. I like it. But yeah, no, I totally agree. I actually went to Chicago over the weekend, and me and my cousin just went, one of her friends at her baby shower, her engagement party, her wedding, her baby. We were partying together all the time. You know how some people you just dance with all the time? And she was one of them. So, but I always saw her when my cousin had something. And so she turned 40 and she lives in Chicago now. She been in Chicago for like a couple years. Yeah, so we went up there for her birthday and we literally just did whatever. And I told her what I wanted to do. And we just did whatever. And it just flowed.
Yeah.
It just flowed. And man, that shit in Chicago, Chicago's weather it's a cold city, it's a windy city. So their summer is not as humid as ours is like all the time. Man, it was like 83 degrees, but like no humidity. And then it was like partly cloudy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it was perfect. So we went to the lake. I was able to put my feet in the water. You know what I'm saying? Because I that's my sanctuary. The beach is my sanctuary. Even though it's not salt water, it's just water. And it's somewhere that I'm not at home or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was just refreshing. We went to the party. We had a freaking blast. Then we went to the pool at the hotel. Intercontinental got a pool that's like just like Olympic size, and we in it by ourselves. Went to brunch, ate good, had great service, like just easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I came back home like just like yes. So that's why when I came home, and the energy was kind of like womp womp womp. I was just like, oh, I need to go take a nap.
I'm ready to
So exactly, but I was thankful that I had that to at least kind of like, you know what, I just had a fucking good, y'all had a good weekend. Go to sleep. You deserve to take a nap. Go take a nap. And we took a nap during the day.
I love it.
I'm telling y'all, that's a goal for me in life. Is a daily nap.
Yeah.
A day, man. Whoo, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love me a daytime nap. I'm telling y'all, that's a goal.
Waking up that
That's a goal. That's on my bucket list to have daily naps.
You can't do it day now.
I don't get them all the
You
time.
should do a day nap.
I
set your
gotta be
alarm.
sick or
Okay.
something for me to do a day nap. I can't. I just can't do it.
You should try. Yeah.
Once
you
in a
should
while.
try. Once in a while.
It kind of throws me off.
Okay,
Wake
I
up and be
listen. I respect it.
Who's here?
No, I love waking up being like, damn, what time is it? What day? What day is it? I'm like,
I set my alarm.
oh, I go to sleep till I wake up.
I may be asleep all night.
Oh no, my naps.
Or 2
When I
weeks
tell
and
you,
I
when
can't
I'm-
sleep at
When
night.
I'm getting naps, they shorter. But when I'm not getting naps, my naps be like 3 hours. A 3-hour nap,
I try to
I'm
take
like,
a two,
okay, I
1.5
can't. Like, I use like a 20-minute, 1-hour nap. I'm mad. I don't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do no cat nap.
I can't do a
Or
cat
no, what they
nap.
call them? Power naps. Hell no, that'll make me mad.
It takes me that long to get down.
It does.
Yes.
It really does.
Yes.
Brain on.
Yeah. No,
My
sir.
other thing is, I was raised by a Caribbean mother. So my mother will always say, girl, you
Goodness
you
tell.
sleep when you're dead. You get some rest when you're dead.
I hate that saying.
Okay.
That's what my mother used to always tell us.
I hate that saying.
And she say lazy people sleeping.
Well, I get being lazy, but you be needing rest.
I know.
Rest is
So-
what you need. Not
You my body need
I
rest.
know. So if I sleep to this day during the daytime, I feel guilty or I feel bad. Well, I'm just like,
That's what you gotta do to break it though. Start taking
I'm
those
like,
You like
naps.
fuck that shit. I don't give a fuck and just go to sleep. You gotta say fuck it.
At least one time. At least one time.
Not even
At least
I said I agree.
uproot that guilt.
I agree.
Take
I
one
agree.
good nap on their ass.
I agree. Like I totally agree. Like take Lisa. That shit gonna be so liberating.
Yes.
You gonna be like,
it is.
oh, I can do this.
Especially when you do it with that intention.
If I take a nap now, I will wake up at, let's say, 11 o'clock.
No, this is what you do before you go in. Before you go in, you say, I'm gonna take this nap and I'm not gonna give a fuck. That's what you say. I'm telling you. It's no
Listen,
work. Look.
even when you do early morning, like when you rise early, like sometimes your body wants to go back to sleep. So get up early with that intention, like to break whatever that is rooted for you to feel guilty about anything that they have done or instilled in them. Whatever it is, when you wake up at that hour is when they are listening. You know what I'm saying? The power hour is 4 a.m. before 6 a.m. You wake up anytime during that hour, during those hours when all the animals in creation is asleep, when it's just you and spirit, you and soul, you and your ancestors. Like, look, y'all, today I'm taking a nap. And I'm doing it to uproot the guilt. Yeah, that the guilt that I feel that y'all instilled in me for being lazy. I'm not lazy, I'm self-motivated.
I would wake up like 6 o'clock, and I promise you, I would start washing clothes.
Doing anything, not to be sleep.
Not anything to be sleep. And then my husband, he'll look at me, he's like, excuse me, he'd be like, get the hell out of the room. So I gotta
Take
sneak
that
and make
guilty
phone
energy
calls.
somewhere
I
else.
start texting girlfriends.
You see, you crawl up right underneath
Yeah.
his ass and be like,
Yes,
fuck
yes,
it.
yes.
I can.
Yes, you can.
You have to. Because you're saying you can't,
That's
you
why
have to.
you got something you manifesting.
Okay, so if I crawl up under him, it's because I want something else. It's not because I'm gonna.
You be like, I just want to go to
Well,
sleep.
get that too, shit.
Get put to sleep. Get put to sleep.
Get put back to sleep.
Right. That's what I say.
Sleep, baby.
You're an early riser. I'm not an early riser. I'm gonna sleep till 1 p.m.
Oh.
She a night owl. You the
I'm up at night.
She a night. I was say she a
I'm up
night
at night.
owl.
I might be vacuuming. I don't know.
Right.
I might be doing all kinds of
See?
stuff. And it's 11 or 12 o'clock at night. But I'm gonna sleep. My rest is important. I turn my ringer off. They be talking phone. It's out on Saturdays. Don't call me. I want to sleep. I'll call you. Don't call
I'm
me.
about to say,
I was telling my friends you don't call me the night before. Don't call me. I'll call you.
Definitely
I'm
a night
serious.
So
owl.
you go on
I'm up at
vacation,
night.
And she will take a nap.
Vacation, would you
She will go to
wake up,
sleep.
or you sleep?
No, I'm sleep. Vacation.
I'm taking my vacation.
Right.
Vacation. My mother hates that. She want to be at the grocery store at 9.
Okay. She gonna get in, get out for everybody.
By the time I get up, it ain't nothing left on the shelf. Sorry.
Ain't nothing left on the shelf.
That's not me.
What?
She just
Oh,
first
hell
option
no.
in the front.
No.
That's not me.
But listen, I appreciate y'all. Shanita, I wish I could sleep till 1 o'clock sometimes. Now I will though, but I will. Here's what I will do. I will take a nap at 1 o'clock.
See, I can't take a nap. Because then, if I take a nap, say I go to sleep for about an hour, then I can't get back up and get back on track.
Oh,
If I go in there and take it out, be like, I'm supposed to go somewhere at 6 and I lay down. Yeah, no.
y'all are very
Then I'm gonna mess
structured.
around and be like, okay, so I'm not
Well,
gonna
no, you can't take no nap because you sleeping until 1 p.m. That's
Unless
not
she gotta go to work.
work.
But y'all might be a little more disciplined. I don't know. I feel like I'm over being disciplined like
Okay.
that. I feel like I'm a little over. I wanna not now. This is not something I do every day, but my goal is to have a nap every day. So that means I gotta do certain things to make that happen. But I have been disciplined. I don't need an alarm clock to get up. I wake up at 5 o'clock on my own because I've been doing it for 20 years almost.
amazing. I need 3 alarms to get up.
Yeah, I'm an early riser. I get up. I'm up. I'm gonna be out the bed. But I'm up before 8 o'clock on the
And
weekend.
still hit the snooze on all.
I go to bed at 3 o'clock and still wake up at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning on the weekend.
I'll be staring at you. We go on vacation. I'm like,
Well, is she free for breakfast? Vacation, I missed the continental breakfast. I missed that all the time.
Oh, I can understand.
I'm fine with one back.
He's on vacation. You like, come on, fuck get up early on vacation just to
I'm
eat.
not
But
gonna make it down.
the press ones that want the free food, we gonna be down there. I'll be down there. I will get up and go back to sleep.
I'm about to say, go back to sleep.
I want to get up.
Maybe because I'm a type.
I'm not even going.
Maybe that's what it
I
is.
don't know.
If you want to eat
I'm
those
hungry.
that's how I feel.
I'm fine.
I love it.
I don't know. I'm hungry.
I love y'all so much. But at the end of the day, like when we really think about it, in Europe, they take those siestas in the middle of the day, and it's the reason why it's a 2-hour. Everybody shuts down and they go to rest. And those countries are thriving.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like they feel good, and why we haven't adopted those things is because of this work culture. This,
That's all I'm trying to
when you
say.
die. It's just it's horrible.
That's
so
all I'm trying to say.
she just wants you to maybe one day just say, you know what, like you said, F it.
Yes.
I'm going to sleep.
I'm going to sleep, and I'm not going to feel here. I'm not going to feel guilty because we don't want you to feel guilty. You shouldn't feel guilt.
Yeah.
If that's what brings you peace and happiness, great. But if it makes you feel guilty, fuck that. We're not gonna feel guilty. I'm gonna go to sleep because I don't have to give a fuck.
I don't have to get up.
Just to kind of pull it the other way.
I can look at the clock on the weekend and be like, oh my gosh, it's 2 o'clock. Let me take me a nap right quick. And that's
Be excited.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm trying to myself to get up early.
I love a nap.
I got it. But she's definitely a night out. I do know
Oh
that.
yeah, I'll be up.
Yes. And I'm surrounded by night owls. My black ass is on bed. I will go to bed late and still wake up early, but I will probably get a nap in.
If I go to bed late, I will definitely wake up.
I like it.
But I really think it's really all about letting go of whatever guilt it is.
Exactly.
Because
If
it's
it
not
makes you
just
feel
about
negative.
sleeping. Yeah.
Or like if I don't get up and go get this money, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. That's all I'm going to free you from that. Not feeling guilty about it. Because I feel like, you know what else it is? I have seen people, particularly black men, in their 30s and early 40s drop dead from heart attacks from working. Like that's what in the gym, drop dead on the fucking treadmill. How you getting in shape and you dropping dead? That don't make sense.
Girl.
That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? You see stuff like that. So I just be like, it just sometimes our bodies need rest. The Bible says that on the seventh day or seventh day, God rested. So I mean, take it's it's okay to rest. Your body needs rest. It does.
I mean, he was creating the earth, all that time. But you
You create that
yeah.
You know God's work.
It's
No, God's work all day. I like it. That was good. But no, I appreciate it. I don't know if you knew the question, but we in. But I agree with everything y'all was saying as far as the success and things like that. And I had tried to take what I've learned from previous relationships and apply them. I try to do that with almost everything in life. And that's why I'm over here like, now I'm codependent. I'm trying to figure out what my issues are. But I have definitely stood on those things. And I feel like I'm attracting better. Not saying my relationships were all shitty, because they weren't. Me and my son's father, we're okay. You know what I'm saying? He takes care of his kid. Like, there's no animosity. There's no bullshit. We've been doing this for a long time. And it works. You know what I'm saying? But, like, even my relationship after that, I was like, well, here's where with my son's father, I stayed too long. To the point where, like, you look in the mirror, you're like, who the fuck is you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know this girl.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no. Mm-mm. I don't even know myself. No, that's a problem. So I realized that when shit is going left, I had to put a time limit on when it was enough for me. And when the time limit came, I had to walk the fuck away. And I did. And I'm glad I did.
That's the hardest thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
And every time that I've learned something and I've applied it, but now I'm starting to realize that there's more than one lesson in some of these joints. Because I'm going back like, I gotta go back and revisit this for a second, because I think that I might be responding from this bullshit, and that's not even my shit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna deal with that, and I do try to push through. I like challenging myself, or whatever, because I feel like when I push through it, I bring something better. Usually when God removes something, or we allow Him to remove something, He replaces it with bigger and better.
That's the true word.
Bigger and better. Oh my goodness. I'll be like, so you really a man about your word? Because I see right now you've been doing this for me a few times. If you let him. And that's the thing.
A lot of things are revealed to us. It just takes us to actually see it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And not be blinded by
Everything else.
Everything else.
Or just trusting them in it. Because we'll talk ourselves right out of that gut feeling. We'll talk ourselves right out of that shit. Be like, I ain't see that. Okay. No, you may not say I ain't see that, but you'll be like,
red flag is right.
right. Or you might be like, oh, we can change that. That's the thing that I'm like, listen, I can't change you. I cannot
You would not be
change
of this human.
nobody.
Not at all.
You have to want that for yourself. If you don't want it for yourself, it ain't a damn thing I can do for you. That's
And
it.
that goes both ways.
Hell yeah.
Because some things that you probably know dang on well you need to change. And the other person could be, sending out little smoke signals to, nudge you along.
Listen,
But
SOS.
if you're not ready,
This is me.
if you're not ready, that part, or you're just not ready to accept that you have to change.
Yes.
And that takes time.
And that's okay.
And it's like, I think people don't give people enough grace to be like, okay, I know I got my stuff. Give me some time to work through it before you just try to throw me away. You know what I mean?
But here's what I'll say with me. I feel like if you're not talking about it, you're not changing it. You can't change something that you won't admit. If you keep pushing that shit down and you ain't saying nothing about it, it's probably not, you're not doing anything to probably change it because you don't want to talk about it. So I feel you 100% on like, give me some time. But I feel like sometimes when people get complacent,
Yes.
or sometimes we're not even conscious of some shit.
But that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So-
talking about the stuff we have acknowledged.
Yeah, if you acknowledge it and you're working through it,
Needs to be addressed.
yeah.
You said it, you feel it, you know it. But it's like, okay, I don't really know how to make this move. I'm working through it. And so it's like, okay.
That's that shadow work.
I was about to say, so shit, what do you think, right? I'm sorry, Mitch.
Oh, no.
Cut you off.
Right.
But like, say you're in a relationship or you're dealing with somebody. It can only have to be a relationship. It could be somebody, a family member. It could be a friend.
Mhm.
It's like, how do you have a conversation to dig deeper with that if the person is not talking about it? You see what I'm saying? So if it's like, if you have an issue and you try to bring it to somebody's attention, and they may or may not be aware of it, right? And so you, like you said, give me time. But it's like, well, what does time look like? Or what what do you, it's like you don't want to sound like a therapist because I'm always trying to fucking heal everybody, but I'm always trying to what I'm saying, because I like to conquer shit, but that's a tough balance. I feel like, especially when you may not know somebody that well. Family and friends might be a little differently, but if you're getting to know someone in a relationship, you might be experiencing stuff together for the very first time.
Right.
So it can get tough when you're trying to like work through stuff and then give somebody grace, and you don't even really know, or you don't really. It's just what I'm saying. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I think that just off the bat, because you don't know that person, you should already be extending grace because y'all are just getting to know each other.
Yes.
I'm talking about stuff where you've been with this person for like years and they still doing the same crap and they've been working and working and working. That's the point that I think that you're coming from. What I'm saying is we're in a relationship, something's been addressed. Okay, I know I need to work on that, right? Some time goes by, you process it. Okay, well, how do I go through doing this? Because some things people can say all day long and you're not ready or you don't know how to change it.
So, like, for instance, jealousy, insecurity,
right,
like going through your
those
phone,
things,
doing stuff
those
like
things
that has been addressed that you even feel like,
why
I
am
want to
doing
change this about me. I don't even want to be doing that no more.
Right. But it takes time to, I guess, unlearn
Mm-hmm.
that type of behavior because maybe you felt like you did it in another relationship and you felt like you had to do it.
Yep.
Versus being with this person and this person is
It's
like,
unnecessary.
you don't have to do this, but it's like a habit. You're trying to break this habit.
Well, maybe you have to pull back from the relationship.
And that may be true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was
Because
thinking.
you have to pull back from the relationship.
A you issue.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
not an us issue.
Right.
Right.
It's a you problem.
When you said it earlier, you said give me time. So I feel like if you've been in a relationship for years and something hasn't changed, you've gotten time. You know what I'm saying? Now,
That was just
new
scenario,
shit.
though.
No, it's a conversation.
Yeah, it's different variables. I don't want y'all to think that,
No, I was just taking it
for
from
20 years.
And if you were, that's okay.
Right.
But but I'm just saying, because I feel you on, but I feel like before you go into another relationship, be like, I'm not doing that shit. And I feel like if somebody makes you feel like you got to do shit like that, you don't need to be there. You don't need to be there. You motherfuckers tracking people and spying on people and hacking phones. I can't. And I understand because some people have never maybe experienced something where they didn't have to.
Right.
Which is sad.
It is.
It's sad. So it's like, but they might learn it from their mama. Their mama might have did all that type of shit. To me, I've learned to. It's gonna sound like real snobby, I guess, but I haven't mastered it. I just try to go towards what brings me peace.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's something that happens over 40, but when shit bring me a whole bunch of fucking bullshit, fuck you.
Yes.
You can kiss my entire ass. Bye. Like, just like that. Like I said, a long time ago, yeah, I did. I went through phones, had the voicemail passcode, pulled up to the house, in the corner in my Crown Vic, jumping out on bitches, chasing bitches down the street. Yes, but I did that shit one time. And I said, when I walk, you will not do that again. You will not do that again. You ain't gonna do it. If I feel like I need to do that, I'm not where I need to be.
Yes. Right.
I'm not where I need. That's not love.
That's not love.
Love don't make you feel like that. It don't. And that's why I was talking to Mark. He was talking about, he's like, love hurts. And I get what he's saying, but I feel like love don't hurt. It doesn't. It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to.
But it does.
It can. But it was love hurts. And I'm like, I don't want to tell people that love hurts because, and I hate saying real love because I feel like love is real. You ain't gotta say real love. You know what I'm saying? But love don't make you feel like that. That's not love. That's fear.
And I feel like that is love.
What's
Yeah,
that?
I feel
Fear?
like you said, like it's not love, and I feel like love do love. Like the first love is from your family members. I feel like the first love should be like your loved ones around you. And I feel like those are the ones that's gonna hurt you the most. Are your loved ones. It may not be intentional, but sometimes you need to be hurt because you're so blind to what you're experiencing and you think it's feeling good and you think it's everything, but the ones around you, they want the best for you.
Yeah.
So they may tell you some things
Like
that's gonna hurt,
Yeah.
but it is coming from love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that there's a balance for sure. I do think we protect who we love, and like you talking about, you when you love somebody, you hold them accountable. But I think that love changes. It does change. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always stay the same. There are some people that will stay in your life for your life. But there are some people that will come through for a reason, a season, a lesson. You know what I'm saying? And we have to learn when to let go. That's when I think it's time to love on ourselves. That's when it's time to not put that focus on pushing love out. It's being able to bring that love in. And that's the space that I've been trying to be in, is this receive mode. And it's hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a giver.
That's what
And I'm a
going through right
nurturer and
now.
a healer, and I'm just, and then it's like, honey, you have to, your cup is dry. You gonna sit your ass down, and you cross your legs, and you sit on your throne, and you wait, or you receive.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy, it's not an easy space to be in, but I'm learning to say no.
And
has helped.
that makes, sometimes it makes me ask myself, are you starting to be mean again?
See,
I mean,
and that's that
like,
guilt, right?
Right.
Mhm.
But then I'm like, no, fuck that shit.
Fuck
I'm
that shit.
I'm
Fuck
not
that
no
shit.
ATM. I'm tired of everybody asking me for this and that and this and that. Fuck that shit. No.
Fuck that shit,
And I
no.
used to, give an excuse like, nah, I gotta take my cats to the vet today. It may be more than just for the vaccines. I would have, gave an excuse like that or something. Fuck that shit. I ain't got time for that either. No.
No. No, period. No is a complete sentence I'm learning.
It is.
I'm saying, like, now I say it a lot, like we was growing up and I look at the elders, I'm like, you mean as shit. And I'm like, now I'm them. You gotta protect your peace. It's just like,
No, true. Yeah, no.
Oh, explanation. I don't feel like doing that. And that's just
And the
it.
answer is no.
No. It's like when you be nice.
No.
Get over it.
Yeah. Wow.
Say what you should.
You got that right.
People take you for advantage when you don't speak up and you're not real with yourself. And at the end, you're the one that's going to be unhappy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Because you didn't protect your. My mother used to say, you molested my peace.
Oh.
Mommy got some. She got some. Them Caribbeans, they be having all types of sayings.
Okay. You molested my peace.
Molesting my peace. That's a warning.
And now I say that to my kids. When they come in my room, they saying something, they already know it's not going to be a yes. Why you molesting my peace?
You already know. Yeah, I feel
I like that word is strong.
That is.
It's like
It's a violation.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a violation.
It is. Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Oh, I love me strong. Pass the cup.
Like, are you?
I said my cup was dry, didn't I?
Wow.
I know. All up under you too. Yeah, extra. Thank you. Okay, I guess we can move on to the.
So wait, going back to question number one. So like, it's been a lot of situationships somebody had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So never really a boyfriend. Okay. And I put that into my ebook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, Father God, I want a boyfriend. And I don't know why I've never really said any one person has been like my boyfriend, because I don't feel like anyone ever really earned that. But I definitely,
I've had some situationships too.
Yeah, but all of mine have been those, right?
Okay.
And so, like, even working with that, like, why has it just been that? Was it me? Even if, like, you're not officially putting a title on something, but then you could be doing everything else that comes with that. Yeah. It's just like, what is this? But a big thing for me has really just been like, no, first of all, establishing these boundaries, and if it's not anybody who's really trying to say
Yes.
or really come to this point where we're gonna be this, then it's like, all right, well then move on, and then that kind of makes you grow as a human. And I don't know if it's a defense mechanism at some point, like you're not really with this person. I mean, you play so many mind games with ourselves and other people.
Yeah.
But at this point now, it's like I can't do that no more. I'm mentally drained from it all. So what are we
That
doing?
part.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
That part.
But
But you know what, Ho?
What?
Take your time, honey. Take your time. Ain't no rush.
I told you I'll come to my wedding when I'm 50.
And listen, and if you get it right then that's when we had to get it right. As long as you took what you need to take from that shit. Because I've had some situationships. Situationships to me are motherfuckers you have emotions or feelings for, but y'all not in a committed relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So you fucking around and you might do a little like go here or there, but it ain't no commitment. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes them shit they get draining. And so I had to learn, I had a time frame for that shit. Time frame. I can't give you a whole lot. And I already know this one thing I did learn from college is if you just having sex with somebody, it's not gonna last, at least for me, it's not gonna last long. If we just dealing with each other on the surface, this shit gonna be okay for a month, maybe a year. But after that, it's gonna get old. Because you just, especially if you want more, and some people I guess maybe that's enough for them. I don't believe that for people. Not most people, I guess. But some people, depending on where they are, people might just want to be detached. But maybe they've been attached to the wrong motherfuckers, so they just want to get the fuck away by any means necessary. Thankfully, I haven't had to run away from people like that. But some people, I guess, maybe they feel that way. I don't know. But I think that we all do want and need love. We need each other. We're not meant to do this alone. That's just me. But yes, I understand the situation. I haven't been in a relationship in probably, how old is my kid? Probably like 7, 8 years.
But do you think it's the importance of the mate love that's really needed, or just because my community of friends, them bandits up, they the bomb. Like even the way they have like carried me through like just me quitting my job, just a whole lot of things that I've been through, even through COVID. It's just like, yo, my friends, no one dude could come in right now and even equate
That's great.
to what these bandits bring to me.
I got
it's
you.
Crazy. It's
I got
wild, you know.
I got you. Totally feel you. But the good thing is, well, good for you that you are surrounded by them. I'm actually in a space where I'm learning that I don't have motherfuckers around me that's supporting me and looking out and loving on me like that. I feel like I'm starting to realize, like, why do I feel like you putting more shit on me? Like, why do I feel like you would rather me be down? We was talking about this last week. It's like you would rather see me like worse, in a worse way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you on that. And it's like people say that they don't want that for you, but if that's not how you're showing up, then you can't say that that's not what you want from me.
Your actions.
You're showing up in every other way but that. And I feel, and one thing I'm also realizing is that, like, if you don't love on me, and this is me being a complete selfish bitch, call it what you want, I don't give a fuck. But if you're not loving on me in a way that I feel love, then what difference does it make?
You gotta learn my love.
Exactly.
Yes.
If you're not, you can do to me what works for you or what you like, okay. But if you're not giving me what works for me, I don't feel it.
Right.
So if I don't feel it, I don't fucking feel it.
Right.
And if I bring it to your attention and your response is, well, I feel the same way. It's like, you know what? That's cool.
You don't
That's-
feel no effort.
that's
So
cool.
Nobody.
That's cool. And I feel like I have done that for friends, close friends. Like, if you tell me what you don't fuck with or how I make you feel about something, I have made it my business to make you feel differently. Genuinely. Not even being phony, genuinely, for an extended period of time where you can even say, I peeped that. And to not get that shit in return, especially when you in a space of like, let me see what's gonna happen over here. And it's like, oh, okay. So I'm in that space. So that's great. And that might be exactly that is what you need at this moment. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm
necessarily
receiving
one
that too. Though.
companion.
Yep.
Yeah. Even like there's still disappointment right now of friends who you're like, oh, that's how we moving. But at the beginning of this year, I said, God revealed to me who doesn't need to be around me. Because again, right now, it has nothing to do with a man in a relationship. I am working on me, loving me the way my friends love me, the people who are around me. How are you showing up or not showing up? How I'm showing up for you this season of like, it's a meme out right now, and it's like screenshotted at a certain point. And I kept screenshotting this little thing, and each time it kept landing upon extend grace to yourself the way you extend it to other people, right?
Ooh.
And I do all the time for other people. But then it was like, yo, show up for yourself. Where is that grace for self? So yeah, that's the season I'm in
Girl,
right
when you
now.
show up for your motherfucking self, you step out that bitch like, what the hell? You a
It's
bad
a big
bitch.
flex. Yes.
You a bad look in the mirror this morning. I was like, you a bad motherfucker. Anybody who don't know, fuck them. Fuck them. Your loss.
Yeah.
So, but no, I appreciate you actually saying that because I've always been surrounded by people for the most part, have good friends and things like that. So to be in more of a space where I'm isolated, but I realize when God's elevating you, He isolates you. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely new. It's new territory for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I love y'all so much. So we just spent like an hour on the first question. I love it though. Hold on. So let's see. All right. How old were you when you first started dating? Like I said, I was like 13 with full blown serious boyfriend.
Right. So what's the definition of
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Dating, I was so
7th grade.
yeah. I was saying.
I'm gonna say,
We was going out. Yeah, we was going out and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you stay
seventh grade.
Well, your mother even knew where you was going with your little boy.
Exactly.
She dropped it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
7th grade. I think we all probably around the same for that. Anybody got something different?
No.
Something special? Look at us, all in one accord. Every
But it was like y'all. Can y'all all go back to the moment? No, I'm serious because
we about to
I don't know if it's just me that's for this new moon cancer shit.
We about to do.
Y'all, do y'all remember when y'all first said I love you to that person, or they said I love you to you?
No.
Like you don't remember?
I remember.
I remember
I remember
certain individuals. Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm talking about in that 7th grade, whoever that person was in 7th grade, when y'all was boyfriend and girlfriend, and you don't remember the first person that you loved or felt like in love with.
Yes, I remember that.
I remember that, but I don't remember.
I don't remember the first time that he told me he loved me, but I think that's because I already knew. I could tell by what he did. But at certain people, I remember.
No, because
I'm not telling people at first time I remember them telling me they love me or we sharing that. I remember, but not my first love. I don't remember the first time he told me.
okay, well, fuck my point.
She's like, girl, I remember to this day. And you see what happened.
It's just so crazy.
What happened?
Just put it on this. No,
Yes,
just
tell us. Let's let it out.
having my first in mind, my little firstie, you know he is. But I'm his firstie, he's my firstie. Like that's what we are to each other.
Two versions.
We the first. No, it wasn't even that first. We didn't have sex with each other until we became adults. So we loved each other all these years.
okay.
And he was the first person that I ever loved. Like
Oh,
the first person that I felt like, oh my god.
where is he?
Where is he
I'm like, where is he?
Bring him on the show.
Hey,
Your relationship is good. Like, what you want?
I got
You
you,
know,
I
we're
got
able
you.
to have that conversation with each other. But I'm saying, my point that the experiment I was trying to do was to get y'all to feel that little warm and fuzzy feeling of when was the first time that you felt or that you felt that type of love, like from a companion.
well,
Not really from a parent.
I
or anything like that, but that, oh my
I
God,
recently-
like, oh my God, he loves
somebody recently told me that they loved me, and I was like, oh, and I felt it in my soul, but to actually
Here.
hear it or
You're the generous
I was just
guy.
like, I was like, I'm like, I fucking knew it. No, so I remember the first time with certain people.
I
but-
just-
yeah.
I remember the first time with
Well, that was the
love
point
of
to
my
have
life.
somebody right
Yes.
to bring somebody to mind and to remember, not even
Yes.
that being the first person.
You
Like,
like
to bring somebody to
feel it.
mind
yes.
and feel it, y'all.
Yes, yes, feel
Sorry,
it.
y'all, but
It's cancer season.
to be able to
Feel all the
tap
emotions.
back into that emotion, and just regardless of how someone else has ever made you feel, like, but to know that you can get back to that place of like, oh,
But you know what I really like about it? I like that the love is genuine.
Yeah.
It just comes easy.
yeah,
You ain't gotta try.
No.
You ain't gotta
Yo.
force it.
Yo.
You ain't gotta trick. You ain't gotta play on nobody's phone.
No.
You ain't gotta fucking. I'm playing. But no, I'm not saying you.
How was you playing?
I've done that shit. I've done that shit.
You just need
How?
to be yourself.
Wait, what you say?
You said
Yes.
you ain't no phones. What was you doing?
Yes.
Well, I'm saying like you ain't gotta look at nobody's phone. You ain't gotta track nobody's shit. You ain't got. I'm saying. I'm saying the love is easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just it's outside of you. You ain't got no control. It's just you ain't gotta do nothing. It's just what it is. It's effortless.
Effortless.
That shit.
Everybody
is-
said that
You know
word.
what's weird?
Effortless.
If it was like now at this point in my life, and if it was that easy, I would think to myself something wrong.
No, we gotta get to a place of allowing and
Oh,
receiving.
man, damn, Lisa, you just bust my bubble.
I know, right?
Get to a place of receiving
Damn.
and knowing you are
We've
worthy
done that
of
already.
all the things.
We did that
It
already.
was so easy.
Not
In
not
my head, I'd be like,
not saying the relationship doesn't have challenges or you don't disagree.
No,
I'm
so
saying
it's
like to love the person just it feels easy. It's like genuinely easy. And I'm not saying that over time you might not go through shit, but like to just genuinely want to show up for a motherfucker. Cause some people you don't want to show up for. And when you want to show up for somebody because you just fuck with them for who they are, or you can't even explain. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you can't even explain. It's just there.
There. Yeah.
It's just there. That shit feels amazing.
Yeah.
And y'all may
That's what I
have
say.
differences or disagreements, but
Lisa,
we ain't saying it's gonna be perfect. Ain't nothing perfect.
that ain't even
Nobody's
yours.
perfect. I ain't perfect.
That ain't even yours. That is ancestral shit.
I was like,
That is like a bond of, because when you said it, it just sounded like an old soul saying it. Like, what's wrong? Like, can't nothing be going too right, you know? But because us in our age group, we're learning to have that softness and have that receive. I am worthy of this. Oh, I don't have to live so parvish, or live how my mother do it, how my mother did it, make it how she made it. No, I can do this for myself. I can, elevate my luxurious life and really allow it, regardless if it's how you have a relationship with your husband or your girlfriends or going on vacations as many times as you want a year. Allow yourself to do that, because that in and of itself is breaking generational trauma. We feel like we can't do it because they weren't allowed to, but we don't even know how to articulate it. So we start to say, "Oh no,
Something
things,
right.
Things been going too good. Something bad about to happen."
But you know
like,
what I think it is too, Lisa. Black people, we have been conditioned to always be in survival mode.
Mhm.
It's just who we are.
That's what it
It's
is.
in us.
It's the blood.
And so I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
And it's not to disregard that because the strength and the positive with that is that you create a solid fucking foundation. That's what you do. You can do that shit in your sleep.
Steadfast.
But because you have done that for so long and you got that solid foundation, you can give yourself a break. You can give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Take a nap.
Yeah, exactly.
Take a
And say fuck it. And you deserve fuck it.
Yes,
You deserve it. That's what it is. Take a nap.
But Lisa spirit, her little Lisa, gonna make her fall asleep one day this week. She gonna wake up like them damn girls. She gonna take a nap this week. Yes.
You have to learn to be
At
selfish
least
sometimes.
1 out of 7 days of the week.
Deserve it, honey.
Or
you
one
give everybody else today. I
or
deserve
1
damn thing.
hour out of the day.
Don't call me, I'm gonna call you, right?
You
During
just
the weekday,
just-
not the
yeah,
weekend,
yeah,
during the
1
weekday.
hour out of the day every day. I'm just saying, like,
Mm.
and I remember, like I said, we were talking about this like a couple weeks ago. You are in a process of manifesting abundance because you don't have to operate from you ain't gonna have enough. You already got enough, so you can afford to take a nap. Cause you good. You got this.
And see, I feel the same way. I'm like, dang, I feel like I could afford a nap, but.
I got some naps in the bank. I can withdraw now.
Yes, you can definitely afford that.
Nobody.
Yeah, but that's it.
No what?
Done. You deserve it. Next week, Lisa gonna have a nap.
Period. That's it, Lisa. It's a nap.
Lisa gonna have a nap. I like it.
Take that damn nap.
Right.
Take a few.
Take a few. Look, the one. Right. The one who don't take naps. The one who don't take naps is telling you to take a nap.
Sleep till one.
Sleep till one. Right. Just lay there.
Look,
That ain't just
my
gonna be
friends and my
stressed,
family
y'all.
told
It's gonna be hard.
I'm trying to get her to take an hour.
Right.
Come on now.
Trying to end y'all
Come
be
on.
yours.
That's what we're gonna do. You gotta take it back.
Okay.
So let
The early bird get the worm. Life is about balance.
the late bird in the world.
Yes, he do. Like right now, he sure do. He sure do. But you can balance it out by giving yourself some of that. You can. Don't feel that,
Girl, you
because
better.
not to feel guilty. Fuck
Ain't no
that.
you can't.
You don't ever feel tired during the day?
You
In the
deserve
middle of the day?
Probably like around 11 o'clock.
That's the nap time.
There you go. I mean, because you're up early, take your damn nap.
Maybe take a shot and then take a nap.
Even better. Even better.
I'm not calling Tony in the mic. We gotta keep the party going. Everybody.
Oh Lord! Never mind. You ain't even treated. I'm turned up. That's funny. That's funny. All right, let's keep it moving. Okay. I totally fucked up the first question.
What was your first representation of?
Yeah. So the first question actually was, what was your first? It was the first in the field. I guess I got it mixed up. What was your first representation of a relationship or love?
Mm-hmm.
Home, parents, grandparents, TV, media, religion, church, mosque, whatever. What was your first representation of a relationship or love?
Home in the Cosby Show.
Home in the Cosby Show. I like it. I like it. A lot of people, the guys actually said, the guys definitely said TV. Everybody, I think, said TV. I think Nate, the only married guy, said his parents. I don't know if that means something, but the married man in the building said his parents, who are still married to this day. I think they're going on 60 years or something like that. But he did say that. But every other guy said like Martin and Gina, the Cosbys, that kind of stuff, which I think we can all relate to because we love all of them. But I mean, shit, my grandparents was married, my mother's parents were married.
Married children.
I love me some married children.
Me too.
I love married children. I love married children. Sure.
I don't want that kind of marriage.
All the sitcoms.
But that's just a representation of,
I'm a horrible woman.
They loved each other.
they loved each other. Yes, they did.
They loved each other. Yes, they did. Al would love him some baby.
Yes.
I have to go to work. It's like his whole life was like, oh my God.
He's sitting on the couch with his bed.
They used to have their moments when Peg was running up the steps and shit. But I love married children though. But I mean, I had grandparents. I wouldn't say that I had the best examples of marriage. My mother had relationships. My parents were actually kind of like back together, and I didn't even really realize it at one point in my life. I was probably like 11, 12. I thought my parents have always been friends though. They high school, not high school sweethearts, but kind of, they went to the prom together, but they wasn't like through high school kind of, like they went to different schools. But like, since they've always been cordial and cool, my families have always been kind of close or whatever. So I think they did a pretty good job of showing me that you can have a kid and make shit work even when you're not together, and it don't have to be no bullshit or no drama. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that because my parents are still good friends to this day. Like I'll randomly call one of them and they'll be. I'm like, what are y'all doing together? Like why? What? But it's always been like that. So I'm very thankful for that. But I think I learned the most from my mother's parents though. My grandfather was my heart. My mother's father was my everything. I had 3 granddaddies really, but my mother's father was like my role model. And my grandmother was a bitch. I mean, she was a bitch. She was all types of wild business. But I watched my grandfather. He's a strong man. You know what I'm saying? He's strong internally. He was strong externally. He was a little guy. But he handled shit when he needed to handle shit, but he didn't have to do that all the time. He had to flex his muscles all the time. But when he did, everybody sit the fuck down. And I've watched that play out, and I know that karma is real. You know what I'm saying? I know karma is real. And so I've learned probably more from that relationship because I realized that I had picked up some of my grandmother's traits. And one of the things I didn't like was how she used to talk to my grandma. I felt she was just very disrespectful, very demeaning, very emasculating. And I started to realize when I went here, I would chop your dick, your balls, everything off with just my words. Like if words could kill, you was in the grave. And then I had to realize, Mark, we losing power. I had to realize that I had to be more conscious of how I talk to a man. Especially when I started realizing the motherfuckers don't need to pay the bills. I was like, okay, maybe I need to kind of like, maybe I'm too masculine. Maybe I'm too much for these niggas. I'm more nigga than they are. So I had to, kind of, but I'm telling you, I learned a lot after I sat back and started doing some of my shadow work from relationships. Because even if you're not the reason the relationship failed, if it's not 90% your fault, you still made the decision to be in that relationship. So you still gotta take some responsibility